Everybody loves to talk about multifamily real estate like it's this golden ticket. Passive income, mailbox money, financial freedom. You've heard it all before. But here's what most people don't tell you. For every success story, there are 10 investors out there who completely got wrecked. And it's not because multifamily is a bad asset class. It's because they walked into it blind. They didn't have a plan, they didn't understand the fundamentals, and they made mistakes that could have been avoided. This series is all about pulling back the curtain on those mistakes. I've seen them play out over and over again in my career. And here's the good news. If you know what the landmines are before you step into the field, you don't have to lose money learning them the hard way. Now let me give you guys some context. I was fortunate. Before I put my money into deals, I was a broker who specialized in multifamily investment sales. That gave me a front row seat to everything. I watched the wannabes who were chasing every shiny listing and hoping one would stick. I also watched the seasoned pros who would pass on 9 out of 10 deals without blinking because they knew exactly what they wanted. I learned quickly that this game isn't about having money. It's about having discipline, strategy, and systems. And when I eventually started buying my own properties, I wasn't walking in blind. I already knew what the traps to avoid were because I had seen other people fall into them. That's the advantage I want to give you with this series. Think of it like me handing you the cliff notes to years of watching this game play out. All right, number one thing is chasing deals without a clear buy box. Now, here's the first one, and it's where most investors start going wrong, chasing deals without an actual buy box. Now, what do I mean by that? It's like going grocery shopping without a list. You end up wandering the aisles, picking up things that you don't need, and leaving without the essentials. I can't tell you guys how many investors I've seen look at a duplex one week, a 30 unit the next week, and then some converted office building in another market a week after that. They have no direction, no criteria. They're just hoping something is going to pencil out for them. Now, the pros, they're the complete opposite. They know their buy box cold, the size, the location, the tenant profile, and the returns that they need. That clarity lets them sift through deals in seconds. In that episode, I'll break down how you create your own buy box so you stop wasting time and start spotting real opportunities. Now, number 2 is overpaying because of emotion or hype. This one is deadly, guys. I've watched buyers walk into bidding wars, they fall in love with the property, and then they start talking themselves into paying $50,000 and sometimes $100,000 more than the deal's actually worth. I'll never forget this one client who convinced himself he was buying the one, his forever cash cow. He ignored the comps, ignored the expenses, ignored my advice, and just kept raising his offer higher and higher. He won the deal, but really the seller won. Within 6 months, he realized that that property didn't cash flow and he was scrambling. Now, why does this happen? Because people buy with emotion and then justify with math. The pros, they flip that on its head. They buy with math and only then do they bring emotion into it. In that episode, I'll show you the red flags that you're starting to get emotional and the simple rules the pros use to keep themselves out of trouble. Now, number 3 is going too big too fast or staying too small for too long. Now, this is the one I've seen wreck the most dreams. Some investors jump into a 100-unit deal before they ever managed a duplex. And guess what? They drown. The systems, the financing, the management, it's too much too soon. Now, on the other end of that, you've got the people who stay stuck in small deals forever. They play it safe with duplexes and fourplexes year after year and never build the portfolio that actually gets them free. Both of those are mistakes. The key is pacing. Growing too fast is a recipe for chaos, but staying too small is a recipe for stagnation. In that video, I'll walk you through how to know when you're ready to scale and how to do it in a way that doesn't blow up in your face. Now, number 4 is ignoring property management systems. Here's the harsh truth. Management makes or breaks your deal. I've seen investors buy solid properties and still bleed money because they had no structure. One example that sticks with me was a guy who bought a nice mid-sized property. It was in a great location. It had strong tenant demand, but he had 0 screening processes. He filled his units fast, but with the wrong tenants. Within months, he had late payments, evictions, and property damage. The building went from promising to a headache factory. That's what happens when you think management will just work. Whether you self-manage or hire a third party, you need systems. Systems for screening, for rent collection, for maintenance, for turnovers, everything, guys. The pros have playbooks, the wannabes have chaos. That's what we'll dive into in that episode. Number 5 is ignoring the local market fundamentals. One of the biggest rookie moves I've seen is buying in the wrong market. People get seduced by low prices. They think, wow, I can buy 20 units here for the price of 4 units over there. But they don't ask, why is it so cheap? Maybe it's a declining city. Maybe the jobs left years ago. Maybe the laws are anti-landlord. I've seen people buy in those markets and regret it real fast. On the other hand, the pros dig deeper. They look at job growth, population trends, landlord laws, and demand drivers. They're not fooled by cheap sticker prices. In that episode, I'll show you guys how to analyze a market so you don't end up holding a deal that bleeds you dry. Number 6 is not having an exit or contingency plan. This one is sneaky because nobody likes to think about what if. But the truth is, markets change. Rates rise, rents flatten, tenants move out. I've seen investors who thought they'd hold forever until the bank came calling, or the property stopped performing altogether. With no exit strategy, they were forced into fire sales that cost them years of work. Now the pros, they always have multiple plays on the board. Maybe it's a refinance, maybe it's a sale, maybe it's a partner buyout. They don't guess, they plan. And that's what we'll cover in that episode. Now here's my promise to you guys watching. By the end of this series, you'll know the 6 biggest mistakes that sink most multifamily investors, and you'll know exactly how to sidestep them. You won't just be playing defense, you'll be playing offense with clarity, confidence, and a plan. That's how the pros win in multifamily, and that's how you can too. So before we dive into episode 1, here's what I want you guys to do. First, you gotta subscribe so you don't miss out on an episode. Like this video so YouTube knows it's worth sharing, and comment below. Which one of these mistakes did you make or you think that you're most at risk of making? Or if you've already been in the game, and what's the hardest lesson that you've had to learn so far? Now, this way, we're not just building a channel, we're building a community of investors who learn from each other. All right, guys, let's get into it. Episode 1 starts with the mistake almost everyone makes, chasing deals without a clear buy box. I'll see you guys in the next episode.